أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسولنا محمد سيدنا والآخرين مدد يا رسول الله مدد يا سادة أصحاب مدد يا رسول الله قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا أذن في قرية أمنها الله من عذابه ذلك اليوم. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki bir köyde ezan okunduğu zaman Allah o gün orasına azap etmeyeceğine dair güvence verir.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that Allah Almighty promises and gives the security that if in a place the adhan is being recited, that place will be then secured and protected from any calamities.
Yani ezan okumak çok mühimdir.
It is important to recite the adhan.
Bilmem bu ne hikmete dayalı ezan okunuyor şimdi her tarafta da.
And we are thankful that the adhan is being recited everywhere here.
Bir camide okunuyor.
However, we do not know what the wisdom is behind the decision why here the adhan is recited in a centralized manner from one place only and then streamed to other mosques.
Öteki taraflarda okumuyor camilerde. Onlardan ses geliyor.
So the adhan is recited in a centralized manner in one place, and then that recitation is then streamed to all other places. But in fact, the adhan is only recited in one place.
Havadan ses gelip okunuyor. Onun için Allah alem o ezan kabul oluyor mu? Hani oranın şey için.
But only Allah knows if this is truly acceptable as actually reciting the adhan, and whether this counts as having recited the adhan if one does not recite the adhan with one's voice in that place, but only streams it to that place, and in fact there's no one reciting the adhan there.
Ezan bereketi oluyor mu olmuyor mu?
Only Allah Almighty knows whether streaming the adhan in this way and not actually reciting the adhan in that place will be the means to obtain Allah Almighty's benefits and blessings and His protection for that place.
Ki hani mübarekler yüz binlerce cami var Allah'a şükür Türkiye'de.
In Turkey there are hundreds of thousands of mosques. We are thankful to Allah Almighty for this.
Hepsinde müezzini var.
And every single mosque has their own muezzin.
Paralarını alıyorlar.
And they also get salary for being muezzin there.
Maaşlarını alıyorlar.
So they get wages for it.
Onlar ne için bunları barındırıyorsunuz o vakit?
But why do you pay them if they do not actually recite the adhan?
Yani bu sırf ezan duyulsun değil de oranın hem bereket olsun.
Reciting the adhan is not just a matter of hearing the adhan, it is also the means for Allah Almighty's blessings and mercy to descend onto the place where the adhan is being recited.
Hem Allah'ın azabından muhafaza olsun diye.
So reading the adhan is on the one side a call to prayer, and on the other side is also the means to obtain Allah Almighty's blessings and also to obtain Allah Almighty's protection for that area.
Onun için yani bu sesi iyi kötü değil. Sesi kötüyse şeyden kapının önünde okusun, ötekisi şeyden havadan okusun, bir şey değil.
And they then argue that not everyone has a good voice, and they want to standardize the things, and they want to have one person recite the adhan and then have that adhan be streamed, and then they choose the one with the best voice. But that is okay. You can still stream the voice of that single person. However, this should not prevent the adhan being recited at that very place. Even if that person does not have a good voice at that designated mosque, he can just go outside and recite without microphone, and you can still stream the adhan that is recited from the central station.
Gene de olur yani. Güzel sesli müezzinler var. Bütün camilerden mikrofonlardan gelsin o ses.
There are of course muezzins with beautiful voices, and their voices should be streamed and broadcasted across all mosques.
Ama o caminin müezzini mikrofonsuz okusun. Madem sesi kötüdür.
But you should recite the adhan at the on site at the mosque, and at every mosque the adhan should be recited. And even if the muezzin doesn't have a good voice, then just have him recite it without a microphone and stream the central adhan, but you need to recite the adhan on site.
Yani sesi 15-20 metre ne kadar giderse o kadar o da sevap almış olur.
And even if his voice is only heard 15-20 meters, still it will be the means to obtain the reward and the blessings and the protection.
Oraya da bereket olmuş o köy, o mahalleye şey.
And having recited the azan in this natural way will be a blessing for the neighborhood and that place, that area.
Onun için dikkat etmek lazım.
Therefore we should pay attention to actually reciting the adhan.
Depremde ne yapacağız, ne edeceğiz diye söylenip dururlar.
People, for example, they ask, what should we do in order to protect ourselves from earthquakes?
İşte bu da deprem de Allah'ın bir azabıdır.
And earthquakes are also an expression of the punishment of Allah Almighty.
Bir şeydir, kadabıdır. Yani onu
Earthquakes are the expression of the wrath and anger of Allah Almighty.
Şey yapmak için, hafifletmek için ezan mühimdir yani.
And in order to reduce that calamity, and is one means for reducing that calamity of earthquakes is to actually reciting azan in those places.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إذا أذن المؤذن يوم الجمعة حرم العمل. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki müezzin cuma günü ezan okuduğu zaman
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that when the adhan for Juma is recited,
herhangi bir iş yapmak haram olur.
It is prohibited to then engage in any affair or business.
Tabii bu daha fazla erkekler bakımından.
This in general applies to men.
Şey yaptı, ezan dediniz, hutbe ezanı olur çünkü eskiden bir ezan olurdu.
And this is the adhan, that is the adhan which is recited right before the imam ascends for reciting the hutbah. In former times there would be for Juma just one adhan, the adhan which would then initiate the hutbah.
O da hutbeye çıkıp da imam ezan okudu mu o 5 dakika 10 dakika hadi en çok yarım saat bir vakit var. Onu
And during that time span of after having recited the adhan for initiating the ascension of the imam to the hutbah and up until the completion of the hutbah, it may take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe a half an hour, but during that time it is prohibited to engage in any affairs or businesses or trades.
alışveriş yapmak iyi değil, caiz olmaz.
It is prohibited to do any worldly affairs. One should also not go shopping. It is not permissible during that time frame.
Onun için ona da dikkat etmek lazım buna.
Therefore, we should pay attention to this very crucial time frame of between the adhan, which initiates the hutbah, and the completion of the hutbah.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أشفع الأذان وأوتر الإقامة. Peygamber gene buyuruyor ezan ifadelerini çift çift oku, kâmet tek tek okuyun diyor.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says, when you recite the adhan, recite the statements twice. When you recite the iqamah, recite the statements once.
Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem. Bunlar da tabi mezheplere göre değişiyor.
Of course, there are different applications of this hadith of our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, based on the various schools of jurisprudence, the madhabs.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الشيطان إذا سمع النداء بالصلاة حال له ضراط حتى لا يسمع صوته فإذا سكت رجع فوسوس فإذا سمع ذهب فإذا سمع قام ذهب حتى لا يسمع صوته فإذا سكت رجع فوسوس. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki Şeytan bu ezanı namaz ne ezanı sever ne ezanı sever.
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that Shaitan neither likes the adhan nor does he like prayer.
Şeytan namaz için ezan okunduğu işittiği zaman
So when the adhan for prayer is being recited,
yerlenerek sesi işitmeyecek kadar uzağa gider.
Shaitan starts passing gas, and while passing gas, he runs away in order not to hear the adhan.
Yani o kadar gaz çıkararak kaçar oradan.
When the adhan is being recited, Shaitan passes gas and runs away in order not to hear the adhan.
Yani ezan sesini duymasın diye.
So he tries to not hear the adhan by passing gas.
O kadar uzak gider ki ezan bitince geri dönüp vesvese vermeye başlar.
And once the adhan has been completed, he returns and then whispers into people's ears.
Bu da gene ezan bitti der ezan hemen gelip milleti vesvese etmeye başlar.
Once the adhan is complete, Shaitan is happy and then he quickly returns in order to spread his bad whisperings to people.
Namaz için kâmet getirdiği için zamanda aynı şekilde sesi işitmeyecek kadar izağa gider.
And then again, when the iqamah is being recited, Shaitan again runs away in order not to hear it.
Gene kâmete de uzağa gider. Kâmet bitince geri dönüp vesvese yapmaya başlar. Yani insanı namaz kılarken, ederken ne zaman olursa vesvese var insanda.
And after the iqamah is completed, Shaitan quickly returns again and then starts to spread his whisperings again during prayer. And even during prayer, one is exposed to Shaitan's whisperings.
Vesvese gelir. Onun için namazdan, ezanla ikamet vakti hiç sevmez o şeyleri.
And this is why Shaitan hates it when the adhan or iqamah are being recited. He hates those times.
Acayip haller gelip de kaçıp gider.
When adhan or the iqamah is recited, Shaitan is overwhelmed by an extraordinary state and he runs away.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أمناء المسلمين على صلاتهم وسحورهم المؤذنون. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki müezzinler Müslümanların namazlarında ve sahurlarında onlara vakit bildirmek açısından emindirler. Yani onları insanların bu namazlarına, oruçlarına, sahurlarına, vakitlerini müezzinler emniyetli insan olur. Onlara emanet edilmiş. Yani onların
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, describes that the muadhin carries a great responsibility and he must be a trustworthy person, and being tasked with the adhan or being tasked with being a muadhin is being given and being entrusted with a sacred trust, because being the muadhin means one carries the responsibility and the trust of reminding people of the prayer time, of telling them when the exact prayer time is, so that they can perform their prayers on time, so that they may fast on time, so that they may start their fasting right. So it is the muadhin who informs about the time of sahur, and it is the muadhin who informs about the time when it's prayer and when it's time to break one's fast.
Bir vakitten önce, vakitten sonra ezan okumaları olmaz. Çünkü
And the muadhin must be punctual. The muadhin can neither be late nor early.
Hassas şeydir. Akşam namazdan önce, iftardan önce yapsan, ezan okusan, oruç gider.
This is a crucial matter. Just imagine the adhan being recited prior to Maghrib prayer and people are fasting, and then they start breaking their fast before the actual arrival of Maghrib prayer, then this fast may be nullified.
Sahurda geç kalsan o vakitte gene oruç gider.
Or again, if the muadhin is late for reciting the adhan for Fajr prayer, then people's fast may again be nullified, because they may not have observed the time when it is no longer allowed to eat.
Namaz aynı şekilde. Bazı namazlar tam vaktinde kılınması lazım olan namazlar akşam gibi.
And this also, of course, applies to prayer time. So there is strict attention to be paid, for example, when it comes to praying Maghrib prayer, which must be performed right on time, as any prayer should be performed right on time.
Onu da yani mühimdir bu. Onların mesuliyeti, onlar büyük mesuliyet var onlarda da.
This is an important matter, and thus the muezzin carries a great responsibility.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الشيطان إذا سمع النداء بالصلاة ذهب حتى يكون مكان الروحاء. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki şeytan Medine'de namaz için okunan ezan işittiği zaman Medine'den
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, described that when Shaitan would hear the adhan being recited in Medina,
30 veya 40 mil uzaklıkta olan Ravha'ya kadar uzaklaşır.
and then Shaitan would run away to a distance of 30-40 miles away from Medina.
Yani Medine'den o kadar uzak gider ki 40 mil dedi, yani 60 kilometreden fazla.
40 miles is more than 60 kilometers. Shaitan would run away out of Medina when the adhan was recited.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله تعالى يحشر المؤذنين يوم القيامة أطول الناس أعناقا بقولهم لا إله إلا الله. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki Yüce Allah Azze ve Celle kıyamet gününde müezzinleri la ilahe illallah demelerinden dolayı insanların en uzun boyunları olarak haşreder.
On the day of judgment, Allah Almighty will resurrect the muezzins as the tallest people because they used to recite La ilahe illallah.
Yani onlara ikram olarak öteki insanlardan farklı olarak müezzinlerin boyunları daha uzun olur.
And this will be a gift, a present from Allah Almighty to the muezzins on the day of judgment, that He will make them taller than other people.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن أخا صداع إن هو أذن ومن أذن فهو مقيم. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki Sudalı kardeş Mısır'ın fethinde bulunan Ziyad bin Haris ezan okudu ki kâmeti de ezanı okuyan kişi getirir. Yani Peygamber buyuruyor ki kim ezan okuyan kâmeti getirmesi lazım.
And our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that the one to recite the Iqamah is the one who recited the Adhan.
Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن أهل السماء لا يسمعون شيئا من أهل الأرض إلا الأذان. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki sema ehli, yani gökyüzü ahalisi, melekler yeryüzü ahalisinden sadece ezan işitir. Öteki şeyler işitmez.
The folks of heavens, the angels, all they hear in heavens is the recitation of the adhan from the people of the earth. They don't hear anything else except the adhan.
Onun işittikleri ezan sesi, devamlı yeryüzünden ezan sesi olarak çıkar onların kulaklarına.
So the inhabitants of the heavens, what they hear constantly from the earth is the recitation of the adhan. They don't hear anything else except for the recitation of the adhan that is coming from the people of the earth.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إن خيار عباد الله يراعون الشمس والقمر والنجوم والأظلة لذكر الله. Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki şüphesiz ki Yüce Allah'ın en hayırlı kulları güneşi, ayı, yıldızları ve gölgeleri Yüce Allah'ın zikri için gözetlenenlerdir.
And our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, describes that the most blessed people are the ones who closely observe the sky, the sun, the moon, the stars, the shadow.
Yani güneşe bakıp ayın, yıldızların hepsinin bir işareti var namaz vaktine, ibadet vakitlerine.
And why is that? Because it is the most blessed ones are the ones who closely observe the sun, the moon, the stars, and who observe it for the sake in order to closely determine and in order to exactly determine the prayer times.
Onları öyle bakıp da onlardan istifade edenlere Allah zikri için hayırlı kullardır. En hayırlı kulları onlardır.
Allah Almighty praises them as the most blessed people who closely observe the sun, the stars, the moon, the shadows in order to determine the right time for prayer and the right time for the remembrance of Allah Almighty.
Yani bazı şimdi insanlar, tip insanlar var, güneşe ya yıldızlara falan bakıp da başka maksat için bakan değil de bu Allah'ın yolunda olmak için bakanlardır, hayırlı insanlar.
To be clear, this is not about reading the stars as in astrology and other things. This is about observing the sky, observing the stars, the sun and the moon in order to exactly determine the prayer time.
Kâle Resulullah sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem inneme yukimu men adhan. Peygamber buyuruyor ki kâmeti ancak ezan okuyan kişi getirir.
And our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that the one to recite the Iqama is the one who recited the adhan.
Yani o müezzin hem ezan okur hem kâmet getirir.
So the muezzin may recite the adhan, and thus he is the one also to recite the Iqama.
قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أيما قوم نودي فيهم بالأذان صباحا كان لهم أمانا من عذاب الله تعالى حتى يمسوا وأيما قوم Peygamber sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem buyuruyor ki hangi toplulukta sabah ezanı okunursa
Our beloved Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, says that if the adhan for Fajr prayer is recited,
muhakkak Allah'ın azabından güvence altında olurlar.
Those people who recited the adhan for Fajr will be under Allah Almighty's protection until evening time.
Mahalledeki insanlar o Allah'ın azabından emindirler.
And thus the people living in the neighborhood of where the adhan was recited for Fajr will then under Allah Almighty's protection and in security.
Güvencelerdir. Hangi toplulukta akşam ezanı okunursa muhakkak onlar sabaha kadar Allah'ın azabından güvence altında olurlar.
And then when they also recite the adhan for Maghrib prayer, that place, that neighborhood where the adhan was recited will be under protection and security up until Fajr time.
O da gene akşamda okunan, yatsı okunan namaz yani sabaha kadar insanları emniyette eder.
So if the adhan is recited for Maghrib prayer and also for Isha prayer, the recitation of the adhan during evening time, night time will be a means for being under Allah Almighty's protection and being in security.
Bazı işte nasipsiz insanlar var. Bir cami yapılacak, edecek. Yok istemeyiz. Ezan rahatsız oluyor ezandan.
There are some unfortunate people who complain when mosques are built. They say we do not want any mosques in our neighborhood because we don't want to be annoyed by the adhan.
Rahatsız olan tabii şeytanlar rahatsız olur.
But the only one who is annoyed by the adhan are the devils and the shaitan.
Onlar o şeyden mahrum olur.
The devils and shaitan are deprived of the blessing of the adhan.
Allah bizi mahrum etmesin.
And those who cannot have the adhan being recited in their neighborhood are also deprived of that blessing, and may Allah Almighty protect us, and may Allah Almighty not deprive us of the blessings of hearing the adhan and being under the protection of the recitation of the adhan.
صدق رسول الله فيما قال أو كما قال زيادة الله شرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وأصحابه الكرام وإلى أرواح جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين خدماء شرائع والأئمة الأربعة وإلى أرواح مشايخنا في طريقة النقش البخاري سيدنا أبو خالد الرجواني مولانا شيخ شرف الدين دارساني مولانا شيخ عبد الله فاز دارساني مولانا شيخ محمد ناظم عادل الحقاني وسائر سادات الصديقين ومن حفاظته وجواب حسين وفندق ورفقائه حاج مصطفى طلال جملة من زنقش مشلان الله شهيد الشهداء الشهداء الله تعالى الفاتحة.